A very good morning and welcome. It's Jeff Laughton online, Friday the 15th of August. Well, nice and early, 9:45. I made it over to Ireland in the old camper van, and I'm currently sat on a campsite right on the beach just south of Dublin in a beautiful little spot. I can see the sea straight in front of me and it's perfect for a nice bit of relaxation. Now I started at 4 a.m. this morning because I've got to get all the way to Tramore, which is about 2.5 hours away, and I'm going racing there tonight. I know I've gone on a bit about a couple of jockeys over the last couple of weeks, but there was another case yesterday of a jockey being totally unaware of what was going on. Okay, so we'll make allowances because this one was a kids' race. It was the first race at Salisbury, and the lad in question is Oliver Carmichael. Now, I know this kid has only ridden 5 winners in his life, and he's totally inexperienced. However, the blinds that they put on in the stalls to get the horse in when it's a little agitated are bright fluorescent orange. So it's impossible not to see it if you're the jockey, right? Wrong. Because Oliver Carmichael set off in the race yesterday with the hood firmly on the horse's head, and he'd gone 5 strides before he realised that the horse couldn't see anything at all. How brain dead can you be not to see that? If I'd been one of Oliver's relatives, I would have asked for the machine to be turned off, that's how much. Now, there's no excuse for incompetence when huge sums of money are changing hands daily on these horses from the punter to the bookmaker. People will come out and defend him and say, oh, he's only a young lad, he's inexperienced. But it's a bright orange, high-vis hood that is 8 inches in front of his eyes. There are no excuses, and it's got to stop. It's just not fair on punters, and it will drive people away from this game when there is zero accountability. The BHA must look at this, and they must give out bans when they do not remove the hood, the blind, whatever we call it, and give the horse no chance of winning. It may sound severe, but it would stop. There's no point in fining somebody like Holly Doyle the price of a riding fee when she's a millionaire. This is happening all too often and nobody wants to do anything about it. So let's get on with today's racing anyway, because I've got to get on the road. Just before then, I've got 2 big bets on my private service today as they were yesterday. Both horses won yesterday. If you want to know what they are today or any other day, then drop me an email at the email address below. And if you haven't as yet subscribed, please do that when you get to know. Then you get to know when these videos go up. And as I've mentioned in the last few days, I won't be doing videos for York's Ebor meeting next week as I will be there most days. But I have set up a special group, and if you want my bets just for York, then send me a text to the mobile number that I've left below. Right, Epsom, 4:20. Hughie Morrison's Dal Marley runs. Now, he's only run twice this year when he hasn't been getting home over longer trips. His last run at Sandown when he was 4th behind Gladius, who won at Glorious Goodwood recently, stands out as the best form in the race. He drops back in trip to a mile today and should be capable in this lower grade of making all. At Newbury this afternoon, the 3:40 should be between the front 2 in the market. Likeness was a huge eye-catcher on debut and has been working well since, but I know they think the world of Ed Walker's Butterfly Beach, and his horses are running particularly well. She costs 470,000 guineas, and they couldn't get enough on her on debut at Newmarket in June. They were going to run her in a listed race today, but chose to come here instead for an easier option, and it will be tight between those 2. In the 4:10, George Bowie runs another nice sort in Bow Echo. Now, they got a lead horse at home at Bowie's that works to a mark of 90, even though it wouldn't be as good on the racetrack, but it does work to a mark of 90. And this Bow Echo is the only one that can get him off the bridle. They think that potentially is going to be their best 2-year-old this year. Although he's not fully wound up for today, they do expect him to go and win. In the 4:45, the St Hughes Stakes, a listed race, Flowerhead does have the best form, having finished 2nd in the Queen Mary at Royal Ascot, but I can't help feeling that her last run was a bit of a step backwards, and I worry that something may improve past her. She is the most likely winner, but I won't be having a bet in the race. In the 5:57, Ed Bethel sends Knights in White Satin on the long trip from Yorkshire. Now, she absolutely bolted up 8 days ago, and she's £2 well in today, even carrying a £6 penalty. At Thirsk this evening in the 6:02, I was really taken by another Ed Bethel horse, Adair, who was only just touched off on debut 4 weeks ago at Haydock. Now, he's held in high regard and as David O'Mara's horse to beat. The 14 draw is not ideal, but he knew enough on debut, so he should be sharp enough away to get a position. In the 8:10, Ed Dunlop's Arundel runs after finishing second 12 days ago at Yarmouth. Now, that was over 10 furlongs, and he's looked all year as though this step up in trip would suit. He's got the very astute Danny Tudhope on board tonight, and he could be hard to beat. So I'm going to leave it there. I'll soon be on the road down to Tremor. Thank you for dropping by, and I'll speak to you at a similar time tomorrow. Many thanks.